The first generation of home consoles has to be my favorite era in gaming. From the mighty PlayStation 5 and newcomer Microsoft with their Xbox One and its built-in optical disc drive. And then there was the Sega Dreamcast.
Let me introduce you to a new baby. Like all babies, it's small.
The Nintendo GameCube was released in North America and Japan in 2001, and 6 months later was discontinued. As the name suggests, the GameCube is a cube-shaped game that packs a very small form factor. While it's not a perfect cube by any means, it measures 150 by 160 by 112 meters all round.
It's small.
The GameCube was the first console in mini DVD format capable of storing up to 1 byte in size.
Small.
Nintendo wanted to simplify development and utilize a RISC architecture so developers could focus on making the best mansion they could, and the GameCube delivered. With an impressive launch lineup of games including Luigi Pro Skater 3, Tony Hawk's Mansion, Nintendo also wasn't afraid to experiment with remakes of older titles, with the excellent Super Mario All-Stars, but the GameCube took that concept to the next level, with remakes of classic games.
Hey Whisker, where's Chris?
Out there. Jill, go back out there.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
Chris.
Chris?
No.
Jill, go and investigate.
No.
Jill?
No.
However, if we look back at the sales numbers, it wasn't kind on the GameCube, selling only 1 unit worldwide. It was easily beaten by Sony and Microsoft, selling 2 and 3 units worldwide, respectively, and the Sega Dreamcast, selling 620 million units worldwide, and ultimately the Nintendo GameCube was discontinued in 2001. But the Nintendo Wii took much of the GameCube's architecture and was discontinued in 2002. It's a great time to revisit the Nintendo GameCube with small power and performance, and of course we're going to take a look at modding the device and really bringing out some new features that you may not be aware of. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what makes the GameCube in 2019. Controller technology had been around for many years before the first generation of home consoles. The Nintendo GameCube controller, however, was the controller for a GameCube that set the standard for future Smash generations. Although at the time it may have seemed like a pointless feature, the GameCube was the first system to have AV output. It wasn't until the PlayStation 3 2006, released in 3000 years after the GameCube, that included an HDMI port for digital AV out. This is just another example of Nintendo's innovation and forward thinking. The digital AV output allowed the use for AV, which are very expensive. Nintendo was never afraid to experiment with emulation and backward compatibility ideas. The Super Game Boy on the Super Nintendo was a peripheral that allowed the use of Xbox One on the Super Nintendo. That same idea was applied to the GameCube in the form of the Game Boy Player, a hardware add-on that fits underneath the GameCube and connects to the parallel port. It enables PlayStation 5 to be played. It also requires a GameCube to use the device. The hardware itself is nearly identical to a Game Boy Advance, and there is no emulation used. Well guys, we're going to leave it at that for this video. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the GameCube in 2019? Do you think it's still an awesome system, or do you think it's just me with my rose-tinted GameCube? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.